Jerry Jones, the owner of the team, who we saw celebrating prematurely the victory over the Dolphins, not celebrating the fact that Amari Cooper will miss Thursday's game due to a COVID positive, in part because he's not vaccinated. Here's Jerry Jones speaking yesterday on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas about Cooper's situation.
Jerry, are you disappointed in Amari?
Well, I'm just, again, I said it early. You check me at the door in a football team. That has nothing to do with the issues of masking, not masking, getting vaccinated, not getting vaccinated. And if I have a tone, I shouldn't. It just has nothing to do with it. The facts are it is a we thing when you walk into the locker room. And anybody is being counted on to pull his weight. Everybody expects that. They look around at each other. They understand everybody's rights. They do. We do. Everybody understands our rights. Now, Amari Cooper is outstanding, folks. He's one of the highest character guys that you will ever be around in any area. But this is a classic case of how it can impact a team when people are, at the end of the day, this is not individual, it is team. You cannot win anything individually.
Right.
So all of that are statements that I know everybody has heard till they're blue in the face. But the point is that this popped us.
Hey, and Jerry Jones wasn't the only one who had some candid comments about Cooper. It was Michael Irvin, who was the first former player to come out and say in July, if you care about winning, you get vaccinated. And it wasn't a political thing. It was very simple. You do what you have to do to make yourself available to play.
Right.
The vaccine increases the likelihood that you will be available to play. Do what you have to do to be available to play. Because if you're not available to play, that's the kind of thing that can cause us to lose a game. That's the kind of thing that can cause us to not achieve our ultimate goal. And for all that we can say about the dysfunctional organizations out there that are just trying to make money, the Cowboys are indeed trying to win the Super Bowl every single year. Jerry Jones wants that trophy,
no doubt,
badly.
Right.
And this is the kind of thing that can get in the way of it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's a conversation we've had, 100 times already this year. There's no other way to say it. Yeah, I mean, we all respect the personal decision Amari Cooper made. Yeah, okay, that's great. But yeah, you're doing that at the cost of, gambling with your team's success and your own success, and of course it can hurt your football team. Yeah, it would have been a different game if he's out there against the Kansas City Chiefs last week. Kansas City, hey, it's one less crazy matchup they had to worry about in that game. It allowed them to get in the face of the Cowboys maybe even more aggressively in coverage. You go, wait, no Amari Cooper? Fine. Let's play a little bit more, man. Let's put another guy in the box to stop the run game. So it certainly affects the X's and O's department, and then here it's the same conversation where we had about Aaron Rodgers. Cowboys are in the conversation to get the number 1 seed. Now you lose a game like that. Man, now it's a short week. It's the Raiders. They're desperate. Yeah, you're a better team. One mistake. Oh man, now you've lost 2 games. You better watch out. Now you're going, holy crap, here come the Eagles, and we got to worry about the division. Forget the number 1 seed. So I think that's what Michael Irvin and Jerry Jones are talking about. And it is a team sport, and that's where, we've argued this from the get-go. It's a competitive advantage, let alone he doesn't get his own personal payback to the Raiders, who I'm sure he'd like to shove it up where just because of how his time there ended. So it stinks for him personally, and, of course, it stinks for the team.
First of all, I am thankful for many things as Thanksgiving approaches. I am very thankful that you have learned that the phrase is not from get-go, but from the get-go. So he can be taught, folks. Continue to point out these moments. And let's break this down and understand exactly what's going on here, because I will undoubtedly hear from the you can still get COVID if you're vaccinated crowd. And we've never said you can't. Number one, it helps you not get seriously ill and or die. And number two, you're less likely to be full of virus that gets shed all over everybody else. And you can make the argument that it is harder to get it if you're vaccinated. So let's just assume that all things were equal, that he was going to get it no matter what. Here's the difference between being vaccinated and unvaccinated. Again, assuming that he was destined to get it the day that he got it. You get tested once a week if you're vaccinated.
Yeah.
Well, When he was tested last week as part of his regular weekly test, he would have been negative because he's tested every day as unvaccinated. When he was finally positive as unvaccinated on Thursday, I think it was,
right,
that's when he's out for 10 days.
Yeah.
That's when he's definitely missing 2 games. If you're vaccinated, now, this is one of the flaws in the NFL's protocol.
It's a flaw,
he
sure.
He would have been positive
Right.
playing on Sunday against the Chiefs. But guess what?
Right.
He would have played on Sunday against the Chiefs.
Right.
He wouldn't have missed 2 games.
Right.
He would have missed Thursday's game, assuming he tested positive on Monday as part of his normal weekly vaccinated status test. But he wouldn't have missed 2 games. He would have missed 1. And that's where Michael Irvin comes in. This isn't about politics. This isn't about the broader scientific realities of the pandemic. It's very linear. It's very simple. What is my path that will allow me to play?
Yeah.
What is the path that maximizes my chances of playing? It is getting the vaccine.
Right.
Because if Amari Cooper had gotten vaccinated, he would have missed 1 game, not 2. Would have missed 1. And we don't know what would have happened on Sunday in Kansas City because he didn't play. But if he had played, could have been a different outcome. And at the end of the day, just like Aaron Rodgers not playing against Kansas City could be a factor for the Packers being the 1 seed.
Yeah.
Amari Cooper not playing against Kansas City could be a factor for the Cowboys. And oh, by the way, the Chiefs have pulled a lucky card twice now on the COVID roulette game.
Right.
I'm completely mixing my metaphors, but the point is
they
could end up with a 1 seed because they had key games against 2 teams that didn't have key players because they weren't vaccinated.
Yeah, right. Yeah, yes. Again, it's Jerry said it right. It's a team sport. Who knows? Jerry's beliefs, maybe he wasn't one that wanted to be vaccinated, but he did it for the best of his team, the NFL, whatever. Michael Irvin, damn, he'd do anything to win a football game. So he'd be vaccinated. That's why he's, you respect him that way. I mean, he's just one of those guys. So, yeah, that's where it comes down to is just what you're doing for your team. You're trying to win a Super Bowl. And that's where this argument lies, and again, I know it's not a personal thing. I understand it. I certainly had some trepidation about getting vaccinated. Didn't necessarily want to do it, but did it for a lot of reasons that I felt were better for the community. I didn't want it on my, guilty conscience, anything like that. And people could say whatever they want. I understand, yes, we know you can still get sick if you're vaccinated and all of that. But the numbers are the numbers. The places that are not vaccinated have more deaths, have more serious hospitalizations. The ones that are vaccinated, it's way below that. There's a difference. So you can't the unvaccinated can't say can't always lie on that. No, we have proof.
It doesn't matter.
I know.
It doesn't matter because they're going to say whatever they have to say to feel better about their individual decision to not do it.
That's fine, but they're not being factual. You got to be in reality.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
I know.
JFK Jr. still alive. Doesn't matter. That's the thing.
Yes.
That no longer. Prince is alive too, by the way. He's coming over for mac and cheese tomorrow. But I will say this: wouldn't that be funny if Prince showed up at my house tomorrow for mac and cheese?
Very. Be odd if he was in West Virginia. He'd be in West Virginia of all places. I would have been like,
that
what?
would be one of the adjectives that would describe that situation. And if we're going to go down the path of individual decisions, I mean, look, you will encounter on the path to being fully committed or not fully committed to playing football, you will encounter many individual decisions. This is just one of them. Ronnie Lott at one point encountered an individual decision,
right,
which entailed having a piece of his pinky removed so he could keep playing football.
Yeah.
That's an individual decision, and he chose the path at the fork in the road that entailed being available to play football. So, yeah, it is an individual decision, and sometimes you make it in a way that doesn't ensure that you'll be available for as many football games as possible. That was Michael Irvin's point. That's Jerry Jones' point.
Yep, that is the point.
I can't help but wonder whether or not that's going to be a factor in whether or not they pay Amari Cooper $20 million next year to play receiver. They need him. He's good, but they got to be disappointed with what's gone on here, especially if it becomes a factor in keeping them from their ultimate goal of getting to the Super Bowl and winning it.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.